very warm welcome to Keka HR Conclave, the Ahmedabad chapter. My name is Dr. Nishad, and I'll be your host for the evening. We are here today to acknowledge the past achievements, celebrate the present, and strategize for the future of the corporate world through HR. Before we go there, I would like to take this opportunity to applaud the continuous and dedicated efforts of each and every one of you sitting here for bringing the HR world to what it is today. So big round of applause for every one of you. That being said, Keka was started way back in 2015 with the ideology of empowering HRs, and for us, employee experience is over everything. We strongly believe that employee experience plus customer experience gives rise to 10 times the growth in any organization. And I'm sure a lot of you believe the same, right? We know and we realize that there is a lot of power that human resources hold. And through these series of events and conclaves, we want organizations to realize and leverage this power. With that, I want to call the man of the hour on stage, who is the mind behind all of these events, Mr. Barun Malik, who is the head of marketing at Keka. Please have a huge round of applause for him, guys.
Hello, everyone. So I will be quick because we are here to learn, to meet each other. So I will start with a very small story, right? Long back, religion started a community. After that, politics started a community. This modern businesses that we are here right now doing is the modern community. Now, a lot of time we never asked what we want from this community. So now CEOs started coming into the picture. If you see, employer, when he starts a company, he wants to create an impact. He wants to make sure there is a long-lasting impact of his work. When an employee joins an organization, he also wants to create an impact. Now, what happens? There is CEO who always, lot of time, gets busy on the customer experience part, the CX of the business, the revenues of the business. And then there is the EX part of it. So now, for a good company growth, both the parts are equally important. The CX, the customer experience, plus employee experience can get you the 10x growth that you require. So now, the thing is, why we started this whole conclave and all this event. It's to make you all sit at one place. That's the first aim. To start a community, we need to start somewhere. Then we need to start asking this question slowly. What we want from a HR community. What we want to discuss in a community. And these are the insights I'm going to take from you guys today. And these are the insights I will love to get more from you. So that we, as a company, we have this whole thrive on creating employee experience journey, creating that employee and employer relationship, the communication gap, bridging that. And we find out that you people, the HRs, not just our heroes, not just our heroes. You are our, not just our important people in the organization. You are our influencers. You are our influencers inside the organization. You are going to create those changes. You are going to write those stories. You are writing those narratives. And to be very honest, big claps for everyone here to be here. Thank you, everyone. I told I will take less time. So let's enjoy the event.
So thank you so much, Barun, for that. And without further ado, I would like to start the roundtable discussion for which we are here. And for that, I would welcome Kshitij Sachan. He is the lead process strategist at Keka. So he'll be moderating the session. And yeah, the roundtable begins now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nishad, for the kind introduction. Hi, everybody. Am I audible to the last corner of the room? All right. So before I get started with the activity that we are going to do today, let me quickly set a context about what we're going to do, right? And even before that, let me introduce myself. So I'm Kshitij. I'm a leadership coach. I help organizations design talent management processes. Now, when I say talent management processes, if you look at organizations, it's largely always a command-based leadership model, where the leaders decide that what change, what problem they'll solve, that happens at the leadership bench, and then eventually everybody in the organization chases that as a mission or as a vision. Now, if you look at the workplaces today, every single individual also has a certain purpose to come to work. Someone to learn, someone to make money, someone to be sustainable, and so forth, and so forth, right? So that's where I help organizations design those frameworks where people's aspiration can be mapped to eventually link it to the organization vision. How do I do that? Very simple processes, very simple methods. Getting efficient goal settings done into the organization, getting efficient tech implemented in an efficient manner into the organization. So that is what I have been doing the entire decade. I've been part of the Keka journey ever since the inception of it. While we were like 10 people, we used to fit in a room. We used to think about what is the purpose and vision of building this. And here we are today with somewhere close to 1,000 employees in the organization, with close to 10,000 plus organizations who are powered by, where HR processes are powered by Keka, and more than 1.2 million users on our platform, which effectively utilize our platform to manage their lives. So to give a brief about the activity that we are going to do today, initially we thought we'll keep a panel discussion, but how many of you agree that panel discussions are boring? I need you to raise hands. At times, if you want, I can choose 5 panelists from here and get started with it. Not a big problem. All right. So why not panel discussion? Let me explain that a bit. So initially, the 10 conclaves that we did, we used to focus on doing these panel discussions. But what we largely believed, and what we have seen in last 10 years, is that every single individual, every single practitioner out there has a certain value to add to the community. So that is where the panel discussion is out. And now we do a round table, which is more of a crowd works. How it works, let me give a quick explanation about that. So every single table that you see out here is going to participate in this activity. Every table has a moderator. Moderators, can you raise hand to raise my confidence, if I'm speaking right? Right, perfect. Right, the coordinators, if there's any table where moderator is missing, please help people select a moderator from the table, and we will proceed as is. Now, if you find this paper on your table, this is the topic for the table. And what we are doing today is we are looking at a topic which is mentioned, which is more of a process, more of a problem statement that you guys see in the organization every day. So we have, the table is supposed to do a SWOT analysis of the problem. Now, when I say SWOT, S represents the strengths that HR can exercise to make the organization better, the workplace better. Weaknesses that HR can resolve, right, related to that aspect which is mentioned as a topic. The third aspect is opportunities that HR can harness related to the topic. And then eventually the threats, right, which we should always keep an eye for and not take that direction or keep it measured at least. So we will have 20 minutes of time for internal discussion on every table, where the moderators can help set a context, have a conversation with the people. There is a SWOT table down below. So you have to add 3 pointers on strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats related to the topic. I hope I'm clear. Any questions, any queries on this? So the time starts now. We are at 7:20. We'll get started. I'll come to every single table and take these submissions. All right, so as time's up, I will go get started with the table number 1. Are we ready?
So thank you so very much. I would like to thank you people for doing good work. My name is Siddharth, and I'm representing table number 1. Myself, I'm an entrepreneur. I run L&D firm, and we have a team which is a diverse group of people belonging to HR functions. So yes, starting with the strength, I think you want me to list it up?
Could just talk about the topic a bit and then get started with the SWOT. That will be helpful.
Topic which was given to us is a very critical one in the HR field: how to attract the right talent in the competitive market.
All right, the colloquial question.
So the first one, strength, is cultures and values. So what I feel is, as a group, we have decided that if you have the right set of culture, and if you promote the right set of values, that would be one big strength, which helps to attract the talent. Second is employee development. So having proper L&D infrastructure, having proper employee development plan, right, at various levels. Third one happens to be compensation and benefits, obviously. Okay. So these are the three strengths which we have identified.
Fair. All right. So first was culture and values, right? Culture and values, there is nothing today that replaces it. If you look at the today's talent, the entire idea of people coming to work is that they have found a sense of purpose in doing whatever they do. You know, you don't provide them that, and then they are gone in like what, 6 months, next appraisal maybe. Right. So that's very critical. I think all the pointers represented, which are representing the strengths here, are very clear. We can go about representing weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the weakness part, first point which we have is a recruitment process. So either recruitment process is not appropriate, or there is a lot of delay in decisioning.
A little.
Okay. Or there is a lot of delay in decisioning. That is first part. Second weakness we have is employer branding. So if the branding is not good, you won't be able to attract the right talent. And third one is use of right tools for assessing the candidates. So I'm sure there are a lot of tools which are available, and using that would make a lot of sense.
Perfect. So I think that summarizes it beautifully if you look at it, right? One weakness, which the first one that you emphasize on, can you repeat that, sir, once?
The first one was slow recruitment process and decisioning.
Slow recruitment processes and decision, right? So let me use the same opportunity to talk about a few benefits that Keka as a platform will bring to your table. You can streamline your the recruitment flows, right? Every job has a certain flow. You can create those into the platform. It's plug and play, and in a very easy method, you can go about doing that. So that's one big benefit. The second point which sir mentioned was the employer branding. Now, employer branding is becoming critical. If you look at organizations like Adobe, Google, they have more than 95% offer acceptance ratio. Now, that comes from the brand value that the organization has. So I totally understand these pointers. We can go about discussing opportunities here.
So the opportunities which we have mentioned is, number one is employee value proposition. Okay. Second one happens to be employee identification. And third one happens to be automation in assessment.
Right. I would want to understand the point number 2 a little more. Employee value proposition, I guess, is very clear.
Sure.
If you want to attract great talent, 80 to 90% of the people believe that as an aspect. Please go ahead.
Yes. So what we have mentioned over here is identification, employee identification, because that also happens to be one opportunity which we can use to attract the right talent. So identifying who is the right employee, identifying the right sources where you can source those employees, getting into employee development programs with the institutions are all those areas which we can look out as opportunities.
Beautiful. We can go to the threats, sir.
Okay. Threats, one, obviously, what we have found out, one is out of the box, which is remote working. That is also one of the threats, because if they don't come to the office, as one of the colleagues was mentioning, they won't be able to experience the culture, they won't be able to experience the values in that live environment which they could have.
Right.
Second is a skill gap. And the third one is what we have identified in case of threat is moonlighting. Okay.
Right.
Multiple place walking.
Yeah. So very real problems. Any other pointers in the crowd if you want to take it on the SWOT on the topic? I'll repeat the topic once again, which is how to attract the right talent in a competitive market. All right, so I think that sums it up. Thank you very much, sir. That was a great point addition, and I think we will be publishing these across into the set of documents that we are going to publish post-conclave. Thank you very much. Sure. So that, a big round of applause, everybody. Please, thank you. So we'll move to the table number 2. Table number 2, please help me identify where you are.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Abhijit, and I represent table number 2. we have equal representation from, both the genders. We are equally participating, male and female. So everybody from our team has contributed to this activity. So our topic is how to transform HR with AI.
Right, everyday thing which we discuss, and I think this is the most read aspect of HR today. So please.
So I would like to start with strengths. So everybody is aware that using AI everywhere, like in HR also, it helps us to be very quick in terms of responding employees. And of course, to start AI, using AI in HR, it requires first you should have a correct data, and all the data should be at one place. So that's the basic requirement to start AI. So it will give a reliable, resources to HR. Then, of course, accuracy
Right.
will be other strength, and it will reduce mundane task of HR, clerical work or mechanical work, which can be handled by artificial intelligence. So it will be quick, dependable, accurate, and it will reduce mundane job of HR, so that HR can focus on a productive work.
Right. So I think machine as a concept in the in the early revolution of industrial revolution itself, the way we looked at machine was that it is a people enablement tool. So AI today is also being designed from the same standpoint, where it should bring in precision in the work that we do. And I largely believe where HR is heading today is that people should not do what machine can. Right. So from that standpoint, these 10 points are very clear to me. We can go about with the weaknesses.
So coming to the weakness part, the first point that we have written is it will impact, when we become more dependent on technology, it will impact on a less interaction. It will end up in a less human interaction. So that's a weakness about using AI. Then it will adversely impact our social skills. That is another weakness. And we will become more and more dependable, technology dependable, rather than being human
Fair.
dependent.
Fair.
So that's the 3 points that I want to mention under weakness. Then opportunity. It is a better way to resource utilization. Then revolution in technology. It will help us because everywhere AI is used. So it's a way to revolutionize technology and time saving, basically, being more efficient, more productive using AI. That's the opportunity that we can
Harness through it. Yeah,
then
makes sense.
about the threats, again, little bit related to the less human interaction, which is no human approach. It is purely like if you are using AI, so it will take away HR from employee connect. So it will end up in a less human approach. Then it may kill our creativity, because once we start using AI in different fields, it may kill our creativity, our original thinking and all that. And then it may impact our mental health also.
Understood. Fair. Thank
That's
you very
it.
much, Table.
Thank you.
Round of applause, everybody. I think these pointers were really great if you look at it. Right, so if you look at AI, right, it has a great usage for everybody. The regenerative AI, which is currently a use case, we at Keka as a platform very recently also implemented AI features into our product, where if you want to write job descriptions, just put in the details, the fundamental prompting, and then at least the base level of the frameworks, AI can take care, right? There are a lot of other aspects. If you look at performance management, one big problem is that people don't have the goal setting muscle, right? They can't really write smart goals. They can't be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound while they are setting goals. So from that context, we also have features where you can, the AI can help people find out what are the right goals that people in that vertical are chasing at that point of time, and kind of write those goals which are more relatable to the benchmark or the industry standards, right? So these are some of the aspects where AI is helping as of now. Again, a bigger risk moving forward, which is always a threat, which is the jobs, right? A lot of things, if machines do it all, what exactly do we do? On that aspect, I think, if you look at the previous history kind of repeats itself. 1920, people were talking about machines. Once these industrializations were happening, there was a big fear in human society that what will we do, right? When the entire production is being taken care by machines itself. Today, here we are. We're still working. All of us, there are more jobs than there were in 1920, and that's how ecosystem thrives. So if something new comes in, it will, the opportunity is more like energy. It cannot be destroyed. It will just change shape and find a different way of, getting people involved into it. So that sums up my table number 2. We'll move ahead with the table number 3. Table number 3, can you raise hands? Which one are you?
So myself, Amit Kumar Trivedi. I am from Priden. We are into the staffing and recruitment along with the product development. For introduction. So I have a people with me. Rajvi Mistry from Growing People. Palak is also from the Growing People. Vacha Rawal and Meghavi Mehta from Ansibet's Code, ABC. And we have Mr. Ajay Kothari from Sal Group. Me and Bharti is from the same company, Priden Consulting Solutions. So I think our question here today is how to identify high performers and retain them. And that's where we are doing the SWOT analysis. And I think that was a kind of a group activity. We all has contributed. We did, I think, a lot of brainstorming around that. We shared our experience. And I think we have at the very, very good crux, because I think half of the table is represented by the IT people, and rest half of is from the very good industry, and that is the steel industry.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So,
all right, so everybody pay attention. You'll have diverse perspective coming from one single table.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that was a wonderful combination, because mostly when, at least, right, we speak, we meet a lot of awareness is people we found in HR only, means IT only, IT HR. So, yeah, coming back to our conclusion about the SWOT analysis, what I have seen is that first thing is how to identify the high performers. When I say high performer, right, and then there is a question comes, what are the criteria for understanding the high performer? Maybe the people who are coming to the near and dear of the CEO are the high performer? Or how we will measure it? And we, I think as a general level, we identified that performance is not directly related to any particular thing, right? When we say some, I think the very good question come from Meghavi, and that there is a scenario, I think all of us as would have experienced that people is a great programmer, say for example Java, and he's working on the great product or great project, right? And that is perfectly matching his skill set, attitude, everything, and still the project fails. I think all of us has experienced that, being an HR, anytime? Yes or no, guys? Have you seen that kind of that people is fit for the purpose and still we are not getting the result, right?
Come on,
and
guys.
These are not the exception, I would say, right? These are the regular things.
Just for the voice of the people, I myself have been there, where there was potential. There was a clear set of lines of what I need to do. I was very seasoned in doing that, like a lot of things. But then again, there are so many aspects which can disorient you from what is expected out of you. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, and that's what I think that what we find as a team right now here is that how we will measure the result, and results are not obvious sometimes, right? We have seen so we think that say for example, this lady is doing very well with all the great thing, is following the process, her attitude is good, is putting the right dedication, he take the ownership, and still results are not coming. It's not his fault. Being on the seat of being a head of CEO, I understand that my company's performance is driven by the market. There are many unknown things, right? Say for example, that happens, a Google layoff happened in January, and our balance is slow, right? and that was not my control, right? So how we can link employees' performance directly with the result? I would not say it's not directly linked, but linear proportion is not that for sure. And that, I think the luck plays a role, culture plays a role, market conditions plays a role, a lot of things. So,
Perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
So that the performance cannot be, I think, that easily measurable, right?
Right, so you have any other pointers to add?
No, I think I would like to see.
All right, so, well, I'm the performance coach here, so let me quickly give a summary about it. So if you look at organization or people, anybody's performance, right? Performance is best operated in frameworks. Now, when I talk about people's performance, there are three major frameworks which I consider are critical for people's performance. The first framework is the goals, the KPIs, the set of objectives that people have, right? Where organization communicates what kind of jobs you need to do in the upcoming time frame in a certain limited, and what is the number which is expected out of you. The second framework is the competencies. The set of skills could be core competencies, job-specific competencies, could be common success competencies, right? So many different kind of competencies are required to go after those goals. And third is the mindset, which comes from the values that people hold. So giving people clarity on the set of objectives that they should have, in a smart definition, the competencies that they should excel on, and the values that they should practice is something which sets the first benchmark of letting people know what is required to be done. Now, once you have recorded that during the phase of goal setting, that gives you a fair ground of going back and checking that what was the outcome against the things that you aspired for. So that's one way of measuring it, but then again, there are biases in play, there are so many aspects, so I totally understand what you're talking about here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think what we think as a high performer is not the person who is only getting the results, right? But I don't know, maybe there is not thing, but we typically see that I think there is a 360-degree feedback or something. If person is doing good, right, eventually will lead there, right? And being a CEO, or I think being the owner, maybe the HR directors, we take the full responsibility.
Very real.
Right? That if her performance is not good, might be I have to look into my side also. Right. And the second thing, I think what we can bring, I think as to support your points, we bring each and every employee join us, we bring them give the vision, right? The direct start, and that I think we are the small company so far, but we give them the direct vision that what we wanted to achieve being a full company. Right?
Beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
how you will fit that. Even you are not fit that, we I think respect you, right? It's not that you are a low performer, you are not performing well or something.
Very
right?
real.
So it's respect, and might be we fit, might be we not fit, but we will not blame each other. Neither we blame you nor you should blame us.
So just to emphasize on the point what sir mentioned, it's very important actually. So if you look at it, people, right? We expect, the first thing, calling them employees is not a fair justice. I think when people join as employees in your organization, they are your believers of the vision or the mission that you have. The problem that you're going to solve for the community. Now, when they own this purpose with you, what essentially performance management or setting up these frameworks does is that you lend a sense of purpose to people. Now, lending this sense of purpose is important because otherwise people will chase their own purpose, which will take them into the direction which is not aligning with the direction which your organization should be taking. So from that standpoint, having this conversation cyclically with people, where we are talking about that where is the organization heading, where do we want to take it, how is this organization purpose beautiful for the community, and then making people feel proud, being part of it. So brilliantly said, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. And then now, yeah. And the second thing, so this was about how to identify the high performer. And I think the very first thing that what we believe is the Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. I would say quoted, right? If we have a clear plan as a leader or HR or maybe whatever the key position you have, you can guide we need not to guide even, I think, right? We have to give them the way that they can walk with us.
Exactly.
That's what we can do.
Very real.
Right? And it's totally fine that you wanted to earn 5 million in a year, and I might not give you that opportunity.
Right.
So I think we completely understand that. So I think there's nothing wrong with your ambition or your job hopping or anything. Like, typically, people hate the job hoppers, but we don't. Because they have their own something
Very
which
real.
motivate them.
Correct.
Right? That we have something. We don't like the job, we don't recruit the job hopper, that is a different thing. But we don't have anything in back of our mind. So what we see is that I will give you the reason that you wanted to earn, say for example, you wanted to be a crorepati in, say for 3 years, I will be there. And we will
Makes
work
sense.
together. That's what we can do.
Very real.
Right? And if you have certain different reasons, say you wanted to be, wanted to live some kind of life, you wanted to travel a world, we are not there.
Very
Because
real.
our reason is different, your reason is different, we are not aligned.
So what you are emphasizing on is that having a fair career path discussion with an employee is something that you should not be afraid of as an employer. Because if you skip that now, 6 months later it will come and bite you in the ass. That's very real as a problem.
So, answering the tough question and the first day is very important. Rather than having a one-on-one meeting at the 6 months or 3 months later. Right? Something work out, fail fast and grow together. So that's what's the thing. Yeah. So I think that was the thing. And now if we come to the, and I think to identify the high performer or something, we wanted to understand them. So we try to listen them, our employees, typically.
Right.
I put the lot of question that what you wanted to achieve in a life, what values to you, what values to your family, what is your current conditions. I think that's a very basic thing, but that will give you a lot of insights.
Brilliant, sir. Thank you very much. In the interest of time, I think we'll take a summation over here.
Yeah.
Round of applause, everybody. This was great performance pointers. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
So the topic of the table is how to use diversity to grow your business. Now, if you look today, diversity, equity, inclusion is something which was more of a US thing until a couple of years back. But today, if you want to build a great workplace, you always will have to take all the considerations of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace in a proper manner. Because if you don't set that right, the culture goes wrong, and then eventually people quit. So on that regards, ma'am, please, your point is.
Hi, my name is Anusha Sharma, and we on our table have a diverse group as well. So the things that we could think of in terms of the strengths would be innovation and creativity. So having a diverse group definitely encourages innovation within the organization, because you have different like-minded people within the organization, which encourages creativity as well. So that definitely is one point. The other is your reputation, that is brand and market reputation also increases with a diverse group. So that definitely becomes a strength. Then we have, it encourages strong competition within the organization, which eventually leads to opportunities for leadership within the organization. So having a diverse group kind of helps people to grow within, so they don't kind of have to look out for opportunities. So these are the few strengths that we could think of. Coming to the weaknesses, one of the biggest challenge with the diverse group is the communication. So lack of proper channels of communication, or misunderstanding and misrepresentation of communication becomes a very crucial weakness. Which again leads to conflict management within the organization, and from HR point of view, that definitely takes a lot of efforts from the HR management's end to resolve. So that definitely becomes one of the weaknesses. Also the quality of manpower. What actually happens to accomplish your diversity within the organization, at times there is compromise when it comes to manpower recruitment or hiring. So eventually, maybe, the quality of manpower can be affected because of that. So that definitely comes as the weaknesses. Talking about opportunities, again, having a diverse group gives you a platform on the global market. It gives you a global presence. So that definitely, it reaches out to a lot more people that you can think of by not having a diverse group. So one of the opportunities is that. Then the learning and development within the organization definitely becomes an opportunity, because of the diverse group, you have a lot of varied viewpoints, which can be taken as a learning opportunity within the organization. Then when we talk about talent attraction, when you have diverse culture, you have people from varied cultures and gender diversity and everything, you have a large pool that you can cater to within the market. So that definitely is one of the opportunities. the threats that we can think of is, again, having a diverse group might have the challenges of, say, the political or cultural differences that you would have in the market. So that would immediately affect your diversity within the organization, which might also lead to job hopping. So not only, why only cultural or political, also demographic changes within the country or across globally also has a lot of impact on the diversity within the organizations. So overall, what we could think of is it definitely has a lot of benefits, but it has to be catered to in a very specific way, wherein there is enough space for every employee to have a voice, where every individual can be heard. So the weaknesses and threats definitely can be taken care of. So I think the key in a diverse group would definitely be communication within the organization. So that's it from our end. Thank you.
Come on, claps, everybody. That was brilliant. That was quite a holistic view of looking at it. So I'll jump from this side of the room to the other side and break the queue. Any tables ready on the other side of the room? So this is table number 12, and the topic is how to help employees use HR systems properly. Now, this is a problem which I personally want a solution to. We sell platforms. We face that problem also at times, so please go ahead and represent your case.
Yeah, so after seeing this topic, we've put all our heart out on the page. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Man Lakra, and I'm from Rapid.ai. I'm representing table number 12. So quickly, I would do the SWOT analysis of the topic, how to help employees use HR systems properly. Just the pointers I would say. So under strengths, we've mentioned communication, problem solving, and clear setup of performance expectation, time-bound and reducing transactional process. Under weaknesses, response time, the point of contact or POC, lack of resources and old technologies. For opportunities, we've thought on improving employee connect, AI model with BI, and a seamless integration of all modules.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And under threats, we've mentioned data security. Employees may be over demanding at times. Compliance challenges. Then reputational risk, basically, and high dependency on the technology.
Reputational risk, I didn't understand that.
So reputational risk, this would cover not just on the HRIS part, but as an HR department or as a human resources department, I'm talking, wherein, a lot of, let's say, layoff is happening, or maybe the cost cutting which keeps.
And HR, the Rangoli maker, is always a joke.
Yes.
Reputation loss is very real, guys. We got to empower ourselves back into power.
Yes, and also, like, if I talk about on the HRIS system, particularly where this risk thing which we mentioned, thinking a point where you have a lot of, competition in the market, right? So one module or two modules from one organization would be much better. Then let's say for a performance management system, the skill matrix, where we are also struggling at the moment. So there we found that some other, vendor is providing a better deal with that. So we do not have anything where, one-stop solution where we have the entire modules, as we mentioned in the, I would say, strength as well, and opportunity, where basically seamless integration of all modules.
Right. So if you look at it, like, systems collect data.
Yes.
If data is not moving in and out properly, and then it's not really being manipulated into certain analytics, it does not communicate the story that it should.
Yes.
So from that dimension, it is very important. I understand that. Please.
Yeah. So that was all from the table number 12.
All right.
Anybody else from this table would like to add?
Please, any thoughts?
Any thoughts?
Just want to add in terms of weakness. In middle of all these, integration and having technology in between, the human touch gets lost somewhere. So, that is one of the weakness that I see. Other than, I think most of them are benefit. Yeah, threat technology dependence is there, but overall, it's always a good. That's all I say.
Thank you very much. So while I look at it, I think HR systems, we as an organization, when we started designing it, we had a perspective that we'll free the HR community from the mundane Excel paperwork recordings that they have to do, and then go about helping them become more strategic in nature, more tactical in nature, where they enable people in a certain dimension. So from that regards, I think although if you look at it, you make people move out of help them perceive the data that they require. Yet at the end of the day, if the critical thinking is missing, it will all be a failure. So the entire idea of making sure that people adopt your system well always starts with assessing your system right, assessing the quality of your system, the things that it is supposed to do, understanding what stakeholders are going to be involved into the entire process and what key responsibilities are there for them, and then communicating that effectively. Now, once that is done, initial few phases, you'll also have to do tracking to make sure people, while 2012, CRM revolution was happening, we had to make salespeople feed data. They hated it. They a lot of times also resigned. There was a wave of resignation because salespeople don't want to follow CRM. It's a hateful thing. So from that standpoint, it always takes a certain amount of time to people, for the people to really understand the value that it brings into your life. And then eventually it becomes an easier job for you to do that. So thank you very much, table, for the pointers. I will go about with the next table. Is the table ready? All right.
Yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chintan Parekh. I represent Mox Tech. We are into IT services industry. And we have a wonderful people around here, all from different organizations. So I would first like to let everyone introduce themselves. So that is.
Yeah, myself, Rishi Thakkar. I'm working in Cholamandalam MS General Insurance. I'm based out at Ahmedabad location. Thank you so much.
Hi all, this is Deepak Tripathi, founder of Johar Recruitment Consultancy, Ahmedabad, specialized in IT recruitment. Thank you all.
Hi, Philomena Sequeira here, working at Ecosmop Technologies Private Limited as lead HR operations and recruitment. Thank you.
Philomena is my oldest friend in Ahmedabad. 2017 is when we met first. Ecosmop has been a proud customer of Keka ever since 2017, and it's almost half a decade of this journey being together. Thank you, Philomena, for your presence here. Ma'am, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Vaishali Bhuj, HR head at Tech Holding. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bhakti Lakhani, HR from Tech Holding.
Hi, my name is Megha Gandhi, and I'm working as a manager in operations. I'm from Webs Optimization Software Solutions. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This side Vijay Lakshmi Upadhyay here. I'm associated with Cybercom Creation as an HR generalist.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Bhagirath Jadeja. I'm head of operation at the International Cargo Terminal at the Ahmedabad International Airport.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Rohan Sheikh. I'm from Azilian Technologies. I'm taking care of HR operations and data analytics.
Okay, now while debating on the today's topic, we listed a lot of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats for any typical organization environment. Basically, what a lot of thought process went into, and we took everybody's ideas and then we listed various things. Like in strengths, basically what I believe is any organization works on 3 Ps, that is people, performance and policies, right? So with people you have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. With performance also you have strengths, opportunities, weaknesses and threats. And for policies also, practices also, you have strengths and weaknesses. So we listed all these things.
I have a very strong belief on the 4th P, which is the purpose.
Of course, that is the objective. Correct. When we talk about the real meaning of employee well-being, we listed a few things like any employee, the basic purpose, basic objective of the employment should get accomplished. That is the foremost thing if anybody is joining the organization for some objective and that objective is not accomplished, the very purpose of, getting into that organization will die down, right? So that is the first and foremost thing that we listed. Then when anybody would join an organization, he will join with some expectation. So he should find that expectation is meeting, over a period of time, that growth, what he expected and what is actually being provided, it should match, So that is also a part of his well-being in the organization, right? Then we have, he should find himself as a contributory to the overall organization's well-being and organization's growth. Otherwise, if I find myself not contributing to the organization's growth, then, my interest will, because then I will not get that recognition, and my interest in overall, helping the organization grow will go away.
Yeah, more than rewards, now people chase value.
Yes.
Are they generating value doing whatever they do? Yeah,
right.
Makes sense.
At the same time, he should also find the organization contributing to his own well-being, his own thoughts, his own ideas. The organization should recognize, and appreciate those ideas and those thoughts. So it is vice versa. Then, he should also find, like, if I have joined as a level 2, then over a period of time, I should find myself reaching a level 3. If I'm not growing on my knowledge, on my talents, then again, I will start losing out on the interest in continuing.
The
so
growth.
That is also well-being, right? Then, of course, nowadays it is all remote working. So while remote working is there, employee engagement becomes very, very essential, because then, you keep working from a small room, small desk, and there is nobody talking to you, and you are continuously working, and there is no engagement. Then, people will find themselves as, as neglected. So that employee engagement is also equally important for well-being of an employee. Then the sense of security. When I'm working remotely, then whom I'm reporting, who is, what is my job security, what tomorrow if, people will fire me out. So those sense of security should be there for his well-being, okay? And of course, the career graph and social recognition, kind of team building activities, work culture, shift timings, all these things are relevant for, an employee's.
I think the table went to every single screw that exists, actually. Everything is mentioned here. Yeah.
Yes. And we then listed certain strengths, opportunities, weaknesses, and threats. Wherein strengths we could find good community building, then transparent HR practices, ownership empowerment, motivational programs, talent retention programs, employee benefits. So these are some of the strengths that we listed. Opportunities is, effective communication, because communication is where more than 50% of the problems derive because of the communication or lack of it, right? So the communication, good and transparent and effective communication gives you opportunity to grow and to, get new clients or whatever, right? Then employee branding, if an employee finds himself to be branded as a representative of an organization, then ambassador, so that will definitely add to the opportunities. Referral programs, good referral programs wherein, employees also are rewarded. Internal job postings, then employee pulse surveys, whereby, they can express themselves anonymously and,
measuring
think
pulse of people.
Improvement in
Makes
the
sense.
overall processes. Training and development, and succession planning,
Fair.
So these are the opportunities, and reward and recognition.
All right, yeah.
Then weaknesses will be internal conflicts, disciplinary issues in employees, non-performances, grievance handling. If it is not handled properly, then it becomes a weakness. Budget planning, for HR and other events and whatever we want to plan.
Right.
And delayed decisions. When you take decisions, but then if it is a delayed decisions, then it impacts negatively. Then threats are the attrition, sense of security for the organizations, because employee starts absconding, or they take away the employee assets, the company assets, and so those security. Moonlighting is the one big issue. Negative feedbacks, people will go on Google or somewhere and put negative reviews. So that again is a threat. Toxic work culture, and another big threat is counter offers.
I think toxic work culture is not a threat, it's more of an outcome.
Okay.
If it goes wrong,
it's a result of the practices that we have.
Yeah.
Right. And counter offers. Counter offers again is a big threat.
Perfect.
So this is what we...
Thank you very much, sir. Those were very illustrative points. Everybody, I know you're engrossed in conversations at your own table, but one round of applause for everybody will be very warming up. Thank you. Any other table who wants to take a leap next? All right, perfect. And I would request everybody to be a little faster in presenting your case, because we're really running out of time here.
Hi, good evening all. We are table number 13 and we are member of 12, ranging from architecture to construction material. We are from design to IT, and we would like to thank Keka for engaging all the HR today, and thank you for helping us break silo within our team, because we all are from different industry, and few were early, few were late, and we all get together to make sure that we conclude this. So I'll leave the SWOT to my fellow team member, but I would like to thank you, Keka, for providing us such a
Thank
good
you very much.
team
It's
member.
a pleasure.
Thank
you.
Okay, hi everyone. The topic that we get is how to break mentality silos in the organization, which is, I think, very common in every organization.
You'll have to hold it a little closer.
Which is very common in every organization. We see people working in silos, and which gives a very huge impact on the organizational growth also. So to summarize, the strengths that we have noted down that HR can work on is the team building project. Put that person into the team building projects, which can break the silos, that authority that HR has, and that can help in organizational growth also.
Right, let me pull some attention for you, ma'am. How many people over here have one or the other time faced a mentality silo situation in their organization? Come on, everybody knows what mentality silos is? At least first raise hand, what is mentality silos? Is everybody aware about it? All right, let me set a quick context about what is mentality silos. Now, if you look at an organization, there are n number of business critical functions which are operating in a harmony. There is sales, there is marketing, there is demand generation, there is delivery, you go to bank, if you go to logistics, you have supply chain, right? So many aspects, so many functions which are there. Now, while people are appointed to a certain function, the daily things that they do, the jobs that they do, the kind of objections that they face in doing those jobs kind of defines the mentality that they have. And they always go about looking at a problem from that mentality standpoint. So that is a problem of a mentality silo in the organization. Now, why am I calling it a problem? It is a problem, it's organic, but it's still a problem. Because over a period of time, you will see that it creates more rigidity in the structure, where people are not open to the idea of having a effective, open to the idea of having a communication with the other bench. And that is where, like I've seen a lot of product companies suffer, where product has a certain perspective, customer success has a different perspective, and then sales goes about doing its own thing, right? So from that standpoint, please go about presenting the case. I think I would have more attention on it now, please.
Okay, so the next strength that we can have is the resource utilization. right? So HR has that capability, and they can work on the strength of resource utilization, pulling up the people or the, what do we say, like the right person from the different team and combine them into a different project that can again help the organization and break the silos at the same time. The people who are working into same department from long time and they have blocked their mentality into their department. So that one we can do. Then the consistency and the performer that we can find it out, like who are the best performers in the organization while pulling out the people from different departments and collecting them. So
Brilliant,
we will
yeah.
see that who are real performers in the organization. Then in weakness, we can work on more on the job clarity, which can give more clarity to the employee so that he can move out of his silos.
Right, correct, very important.
Right.
So over here I would like to add a point, and I would like to add a story also. So Google was facing the same problem, where different kind of functions that they had were working in a silo, and which was kind of hampering the creativity that they had. And they really have a big mission. 1998, they wrote a vision that we want to organize words information and provide it to everybody on the planet for free. They've done quite a justice with that vision which they wrote in 1998. That was 76 employee Google at that point of time. Now, Google's way of solving this problem was very simple. They did a goal setting exercise in the entire organization level. They printed goals of people and aligned it from top to bottom and displayed it on the walls of the organization. Now, what did that do? Now, every person walking into the organization had a clear visibility that what work goes on in what corner of the company. What kind of thinking would that corner have, right? Which opened up the entire idea of how we look at that purpose, that one common purpose for which we work and come to work every day. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Then second is the visibility or identifying the gaps, where the company is actually facing the gaps. So the HR team can work on the gaps when people are different. We are connecting with the different people who are working to silos. So we understand their mentality also, why they are working into that silos. Which are the gaps that organization is not able to fulfill. So that's how we can work on the gaps. Then communication gap is again one of the things. Then lack of automation. So one of the weakness is lack of the automation in current scenarios. After COVID, of course, we have worked more on the automation part. But earlier it was, and few companies are still working on the automation part. So we need to work more on the automation part. That's a weakness that HR should work on. Then opportunities, we can give different mentors to the people who have mentality to work in the silos. So mentoring is one thing. Then we can pull out the team leaders or the successors to that specific role. Right?
Got it.
Then the talent management, we can work on the talent
Succession
management.
planning is important, yes, I agree.
Yes. Then the threats is termination. We can reduce the termination parts. If we are, because in case the person is working in silo somewhere and somehow its performance is going to be shown, and
Right.
there are the more chances of termination, or the person may leave the organization also if he is not feeling comfortable to move out of that silo.
Right.
So
Makes
that's
sense.
the threat that we have. Then the cultural impact, that in case we are not able to give that employee the cultural fitment,
It actually
so it is
lowers the culture of the organization. Makes
exactly.
sense,
Then the corporate politics.
yeah. Very real outcome. I think that's one biggest threat which silos create actually. So
Right.
thank you very much, Table. That was a great pointer. Is there a point to add here in this topic? Claps everybody, please.
हेलो एवरीवन सो आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल्स लोग इंग्लिश में बात कर रहे हैं बट गुजराती इंग्लिश प्रीफर नहीं करते हैं तो मैं बहुत सुन रहा हूँ कि ऐसे तो सब ऑफिस में हिंदी में बात करते हैं गुजराती प्रीफर करते हैं बट यहाँ सब इंग्लिश में रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं राइट तो और मैं देख भी रहा हूँ कि काफ़ी लोग बहुत ज़्यादा बोर हो गए हैं और काफ़ी वैसा हो गया है तो पहले थोड़ी एनर्जी चार्ज करते हैं फिर स्टार्ट करते हैं राइट तो केम छो अहमदाबाद अरे एनर्जी खाया नहीं क्या खिला भी रहे फिर भी एनर्जी नहीं है केम छो अहमदाबाद हाँ ये हुई ना बात तो जैसे मैंने देखा सब अपने पॉइंट्स बता रहे हैं तो मैं तो अपना पॉइंट हिंदी में रखना चाहूँगा ठीक है हिंदी हमारी मातृभाषा है उसको समझ में भी आती है राइट क्योंकि इंग्लिश में काफ़ी बोर हो गया किसी को इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं आ रहा है सही में सही बोल रहा हूँ मैंने है बिल्कुल बिल्कुल टेंशन मतलब पॉइंट्स रहेंगे वो इंग्लिश में रहेंगे ठीक है So, hello everyone. My name is Anjesh Agrawal and I am from High End Fintech. And today I am representing the table number 9 and we are a team of 8 people. तो 4-5 लोग तो हमारे बिस्टेक से हैं, गैंग ऑफ बिस्टेक. बाकी एक वेबलाइट से हैं और एक इंडियनिक से हैं, राइट? सो हमारा जो क्वेश्चन है वो है कि हाउ टू बिल्ड अ सेल्फ अकाउंटेबल कल्चर इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो कैसे एक पर्सन जो खुद की अकाउंटेबिलिटी लेके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में चेंजेस ला सकता है. सो फर्स्ट हम बात करते हैं स्ट्रेंथ, राइट? तो फर्स्ट जो पॉइंट आता है वो एक कॉन्फिडेंस से आता है, राइट? वेदर यू आर कैपेबल और नॉट. तो बिलीव होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, रादर देन हम लोग अलग चीज़ की बात करें कि पॉलिसीज़ में ये हो या फिर कुछ चीज़ें ऐड हो या मुझे कुछ मिले. तो बिलीव सबसे बड़ा पॉइंट है. सेकंड बात आती है इनिशिएटिव. आपका खुद का एक इनिशिएटिव होता है. अगर मैं आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी या कोई स्टेज प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड किया जाए राइट नाउ अपॉर्चुनिटी टू एवरीवन, तो आप क्या उसके अंदर इनिशिएटिव ऐड कर सकते हो टू द टीम एंड टू द कंपनी एज वेल. एंड थर्ड हम बात करते हैं कि आपकी खुद की एक कोर वैल्यू क्या है, एक आप खुद क्या एथिक्स फॉलो करते हो एंड वो आप कैसे इंप्लीमेंट एंड एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हो अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ देयर डेवलपमेंट, राइट? एंड इसके साथ साथ ट्रांसपेरेंसी भी काफ़ी ज़रूरी है. अदरवाइज क्या होता है कि पता ही नहीं पड़ता एम्प्लॉयज़ को कि क्या पॉलिसीज़ हैं क्या है. जब वो ज्वाइन कर लेता है तो उसको पता पड़ता है कि ये पॉलिसीज़ थी, राइट? तो बिफोर ज्वाइन हो उससे पहले उससे सारी पॉलिसी डिस्कस हो, ट्रांसपेरेंसी रखी जाए तो वो चीज़ काफ़ी सही रहती है, राइट? एंड सेकंड पॉइंट है वीकनेस का. तो वीकनेस जहाँ आती है पहले तो थॉट्स कि मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई है, मुझे क्या करना है. तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ थॉट्स काफ़ी होते हैं जो कि हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और एक टीम बिल्डिंग का पार्ट है इसे अपने साथ. सेकंड हम बात करेंगे लैक ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. तो ये काफ़ी कि ये अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलती है. बहुत कम जगह होता है कि आपको ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलेगी. अदरवाइज यू हैव गिवन द इंस्ट्रक्शन एंड यू नीड टू फॉलो देम एंड यू नीड टू एग्जीक्यूट देम, राइट? थर्ड हम बात करते हैं स्टेबिलिटी नॉन स्टेबिलिटी की, कि स्टेबिलिटी नहीं होती है. बहुत सी जगह में ऐसा होता है कि स्टेबिलिटी आपको नहीं मिलती है. तो वहाँ पे आपको क्योंकि टाइम चाहिए रहता है, चीज़ें ऐसे इंप्लीमेंट नहीं होती कि 1 महीने में कर दी 2 महीने में कर दी. प्रोसेस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट. रिजल्ट मैटर नहीं करता, प्रोसेस मैटर करता है कि प्रोसेस क्या आपने फॉलो किया है. रिजल्ट में बी गुड और बैड. एंड थर्ड हम बात करते हैं अपॉर्चुनिटीज़. सो एज एक अपॉर्चुनिटी क्या हो सकती है जो सब लोग फेस करते हैं कि जो एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं वो आपके रिटेन रहें, वो कहीं जाए नहीं. तो आप क्या क्या ऐसी पॉलिसीज़ या कुछ कर सकते हैं जिससे एम्प्लॉयज़ ना जाएं और वो रिटेन रहें. सेकंड हम बात करते हैं कि प्रोसेस होना चाहिए जो कि स्मूथ होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि प्रोसेस ही नहीं है कुछ, किसी भी चीज़ का लेके, चाहे हायरिंग से लेके या एक फायरिंग की आप बात करो, एक प्रोजेक्ट्स आने की बात करो, तो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर प्रोसेस काफ़ी स्मूथ होना चाहिए, काफ़ी वेल डिफाइन होना चाहिए. तो उसका एग्जीक्यूशन काफ़ी अच्छे से होता है, राइट? एंड एवरीवन अवेयर अबाउट इट. एंड थर्ड हम जो इसके अंदर कर सकते हैं वी कैन डू द डिसिप्लिन, राइट? सो सब जगह क्या होता है डिसिप्लिन में, ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि आपने कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस या कुछ ऑर्डर्स उनको दे दिए फॉलो करना है जो वो लोग फॉलो नहीं कर पा रहे. बट डिसिप्लिन एज इन कि वो कुछ काम कर रहे हैं चीज़ें, तो उसके अंदर एक डिसिप्लिन होना चाहिए कि मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी, मुझे करना चाहिए, राइट? एंड फोर्थ जो है थ्रेट्स के बारे में. सो कंपेरिजन, राइट? कंपेरिजन कम्स विद द कॉम्पिटिशन, राइट? कि हु इज द बेटर विद दैट. तो वो हमेशा एक चीज़ रहती है. तो सबसे बड़ा थ्रेट तो कॉम्पिटिशन्स का आ ही जाता है सबके अंदर. एंड सेकंड है कि लेस मॉनिटरिंग नहीं होती, क्योंकि आजकल किसी को पसंद नहीं कि मॉनिटर्स ज़्यादा हो तो वो बेकार ही कर देता. तो लेस मॉनिटरिंग पता ही नहीं पड़ता क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है, तो एक थ्रेट हो जाता है. एंड जो थर्ड चीज़ आती है पॉलिटिक्स, जो कि हर जगह होती है, ठीक है? तो उस बहुत बड़ा थ्रेट रहता है जो आपको हटा सकता है, राइट? सो थैंक यू एवरीवन.
All right, this was awesome, right? The energy. Come on, I will take you for the next table. Come on, you help me. All right, so I have Anjesh who will help me moderate it faster. The next table, who's ready? All right, everybody's ready.
Oh, none of us. Yeah. Hi. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you.
I'll take a break, Anjesh.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
So hi, this is Saloni Brambhat. I am from Skills Bucket. It's a skills and development organization, and I think we have bonded very well over the time that we shared. So I'm just going to rightly jump into the topic. The topic is how to help employees achieve clarity in the job expectations. So when it comes to job expectations, I think HR's role is really important because you start from the very beginning, right? Where you can establish contact. So I think first thing that is important is the communication should be dual. So that should always be, it should not be one-way communication. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि HR ही communicate करता रह रहा है, सामने से कोई जवाब ही नहीं आ रहा है. वरना it is never going to be established कि हो रही है बात, समझ आ रही है किसी को, that is never going to be
Breaking a
work.
monologue and converting into a dialogue is essential.
Yeah, I think that is one of the core HR responsibilities, I think. The second thing is JDs and KRAs. Here, I think these could be the tools that could be great strengths, because when you are creating a JD for a profile, and if someone is visiting it and they know what you are exactly looking for, you are more aligned to find someone who would be right for the role. And lastly, career plan and performance matrix. So you can create performance matrix that could really help you keep track of the performance of the employee, and also talk to them, converse with them, and constantly give feedback as to what is missing and what is the misunderstanding can also be figured out very easily. So the weaknesses would be, I think, the implementation part could be tricky, because whenever there is human intervention, it becomes difficult for all of us to understand how the process is.
Yeah, right, you're right.
Yeah. So whatever we started and what is understood becomes a very big gap sometimes. And it generally depends on line managers and leaders to understand what process is. So if line managers have the clarity of the process, they will be able to imbibe it. Secondly, if timely feedback is not passed, if there are no clear channels of passing on the feedback, that will also create a huge problem. And lastly, if there are any overlapping roles and we can converse about that whenever there is a role change, or if there is a new opportunity, we should definitely talk about it more and more, and employees should be aware of what is happening. The opportunities could be pulse surveys and appraisals. It could be used as an opportunity to converse with them about their role and understanding why their role is important to us. And other than that, we can also imbibe the expectation at that point in time. So instead of just having an yearly appraisal, we can definitely talk with our, they are our people at the end of the day, right?
Very real.
So whenever we talk with them, we should try in friendly chit chat. Also, they will definitely tell you what is going on in your head. So never take that for granted, I think. And lastly, leadership coaching. Any type of training would be definitely helpful for everybody. So whenever you have training sessions, definitely reach out to the coaches as well. If they are outbound coaches, they will give you amazing insights that sometimes you fail to find.
Thank you so much, and please give a round of applause.
No, there are still left.
Okay.
I want you to
continue.
do
I
it
don't
faster.
mind. I don't mind. If people
Okay.
don't mind.
So lastly, the threats would be the ownership and willingness of the employee itself. If the employee is not ready to understand, there is nothing, and if there is going to be the wall, nothing that we will do will actually be implemented, or they will actually try to learn. Lastly, the departmental culture. What goes on in a certain smaller cultures that are formed inside the office, if that is not the right frame of mind, then that
I
could
think it
also
is
be
the last now, right? There are so many lastly, but it never be a last. So, Rice, we can quickly
I'm sorry,
come
guys,
is from.
I've changed the moderator.
Yeah. So अब थोड़ा twist है कि आपको एक तो first of all हिंदी में बोलना है, ठीक है? There is no need to be in English. And तीन points नहीं बोलने हैं, एक point बोलना है जो भी impactful हो, right? So you can start.
Well, the new boss is on the floor. No mind में बोलो.
A very good evening to everyone, and thanks for patiently waiting till our turn. I mean, a lot of people have already left, so respecting your tongues, tummies, and mind, and to very few bladders. So, hold your breaths. We have certain problem, which was how to seek higher employee experience budget from organization. So for me, this is a very tough topic, right?
Before you go about giving a thought on it, how
Yeah.
many of you really want that? Can you repeat the topic once again, sir, for
Yeah.
audience?
How to seek higher employee experience budget from organization? The toughest challenge everyone would be facing, right? मांगो मिलता नहीं है.
Budget नहीं है.
और CEO convince है तो if you convince CEO, CFO will say no, I don't have it, right? So it's a real-time challenge, and I guess everyone would be interested in learning our opinions. I'll introduce my group. We have a group name, Super 6, because we have a group 6.
Sir, we have a time foundation, so
Yeah.
if you go,
Thank you,
do
dear.
this.
We have Zara, Namrata, Hardik, Rinku, Neepa, Miloni, Vinita, and Nishit, myself. I'll come to strength. So the strength, what it brings is to have a lot of budget or a big budget for employee experiences. It will have more impact on the productivity, satisfaction. With a lot of sessions on the mental health and providing the coaching, it will increase the overall productivity of the organization. Then as a strength, when you have a happy employee, he will work as a brand for you. He will stand as someone who can reckon in the events, in the places where they visit. So they will be your brand ambassadors. So your employer brand will go high. So these are the most visible strengths when you have a very big, very good employee experience budget. Weaknesses we could identify was accuracy in measuring. So employee experience is something where you have a lot of matrices and those are subjective. A lot of ambiguity is there in measuring it accurately. So when it comes to showing the cost implications or showing the return on investment, it will be very difficult.
Yeah, so, even if for people who are running Pulse as a concept for measuring critical aspect of employee satisfaction, like employee growth, relationship with manager, employee happiness, a lot of times the results are not really pointing at what's happening out there. So, having a critical thought before designing that as a policy will help a lot. Please, sir.
Another weakness is that when you demand for more budget, obviously some of the other priorities which are there for the management in implementing the technology, bringing those hardwares, so a lot of things are attached and you need to really focus and you have to justify your demand then only. So weakness is that if you have a very high budget for employee experience, then some of the departments in IT or other departments in production, they will feel like they are getting less. So there will be a tough fight for you to justify why you need more. Opportunities we could see was a higher level of employee engagement and a retention which comes with that. When people are engaged, they stay with you for a longer period of time. Higher collaboration among the cross-functional teams. So good employee experience program not only just brings more productivity, it also helps people to collaborate. A lot of tools which are AI enabled, which helps you to interact with departments, which helps you with a lot of data, actually helps you to interact and to collaborate more with other departments when you know the productivity levels, when you know the skill levels, so you can actually help people in getting the insight. So a lot of cross-functional things happen and that is good for our organization. Then it also brings innovativeness and competitive advantage for the organization. When you are using the top-notch systems or the processes or even the practices, right? You are the employer of the choice. So that is one of the opportunity you create for the company when you have a higher employee experience budget. Now the last one, threats. So whenever you try to bring something new, there will be resistance. So resistance to change is something which is a big threat to any new system, any new practice. And you do anything, even a small change in a policy or practice, it will always face a lot of threat for people who ideally don't want to change. I'm just shivering due to the temperature, so yeah, everybody is shivering. So the another threat which we perceived was market dynamics and downturns which comes up at any point of time. You have pandemic, you have recession, you have technology change, and a lot of things changes. And with all those downturns or upturns, the practices, policies, and the linked budgets or even the organization plans to implement those things changes. So when you have a very high budget, you fall into a high risk also. Guys, I just need a little bit of silence.
A little bit of silence,
Thank
please.
you.
Table, please.
Please respect everyone's time. And then the last one is, when you have a higher budget, you create insecurity or you create inequity in the organization as a threat. Because some of the divisions whom could not get the enough budget will always point at you that since you gave more budget to HR, we could not do this. We could not implement our projects. We could not do our upgradations, right? Okay. So this creates, at a leadership level, it creates inequality, a feeling of perceived inequality when you get the approval of higher budgets. So that's a threat to the
Okay, all right.
employee experience program.
I think that actually clears the essence of the entire topic. So
yeah, we should move to the another table. Thank you so
all
much
right, how many
for your
tables are
valuable
left? Can
insights.
you just raise hands once?
Thank you so much. So अब turn ये twist ये है कि पूरा represent नहीं करना है. We have a short time, right? So अपने table के बारे में बताना है and one point करने हैं impact, right? अगर किसी ने भी दूसरा point बोला तो वो किसी और के पास चल जाएगा.
Going out of room, man.
Right? Okay. So start. Who is the operator here?
I'm just a participant. Yeah. Okay.
One point
number
only.
15, I'll just come straight to the point.
Yeah.
How does people analytics and aid in the organization decision making? So the strength, one strength that is a very good initiative can be taken on the proper data if the proper data is been given from the people analytics time. The opportunities that we have, one opportunity is, I'll explain, is like, you can get the better ROI if if data is accurate and the decisions are taken on the database. The weakness, I would say that sometimes it happens that data, when you prepare some strategy on the data, that can, and create an initiative that can create a friction or resistance from the employee side because the data is not always a decisive thing. And the threat that we have is data actually like empathy that negate the human tendency or human behavior while calculating it.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's the quickest we have. Now, who is next? Yeah.
Okay, just table.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we have 1 minute per table left, please.
Good evening. So our topic for today is how to enforce employer branding as HR. And coming to the strengths, attract right talent. Weakness is negative reviews on social media. When the company is big, you have different kinds of reviews. So negative reviews on social media. Opportunities, employee references, business opportunities, and cross-functional collaboration and opportunities, just the way Keka has done. And threats is poaching in a higher leadership level, and paid reviews or fake branding when the employee is break. So there are a lot of chances of having paid reviews. So that's it from table number 11. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Are we getting paid for this? Sorry, no. Sorry, no, sorry. Please.
We'll get
you
guys. Exposure for sure.
Yeah.
He might get paid for this.
Thank you. My name is Deepmala. I'm representing group table number 10. Yes. So the topic is how to identify performance biasness in our workplace. So I'm just going to highlight points only. I think सबने काफी elaborate कर लिया है. So अभी मैं सिर्फ highlight करूँगी points को. So the strength we wanted to say कि self-analysis which is required, and self-analysis should be aligned with the goal setting. While talking about weakness, हम लोग बात करेंगे insecurity की. Moving toward opportunities, we believe open discussion within management, also implementation of proper PMS will definitely give an opportunity. Or threat के अंदर we wanted to say it will increase the politics in the organization, a toxic work culture, and even higher attrition. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so any table left? I really don't want to disrespect any table for the line of thoughts. All right, I'm coming to my favorite, Dr. Bhatia. Are you presenting the table? All right, ma'am will do it, then I'll come to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shubhangi, and I'm representing table number 7. So, I have a mixed pool of the HR fraternity in with me and around the table. So, they are from the IT and the manufacturing industry. So, we have Shipra, Preeti, Ruchita, Nikita, Saloni, Labdi, Shubhangi, and Kanaya. So, our topic is what are some innovative ways to reward people? And so for the strength side, as I will not take much time, so from the strength side is like to identify the correct mapping and having the correct continuous improvement plan. So continuous improvement plan is must and to alignment of the goals that has been the second strength. If comes about the weakness is of the consistency. If the reward plan is not consistent, then it is definitely going to create a problem and it's a weakness. Third is the opportunity with the correct reward plan we can have is the promotion, retention, and the third can be the HR can be the revenue part of that. About the threat which we talk about is the if there is no correct reward system in the organization, then it is definitely going to create up the biasness and toxic work culture. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think that brings me to the summation of round tables. So to move to the next activity, there is a video that will play, but before that, we have Dr. Bhatia with us. He's founder of World HRD Congress, founder of World Sustainability. He has worked closely with Mr. Ratan Tata himself. So, sir, if you would want to enlighten the community with few words, that will be a great addition.
No, thank you. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna, Ahmedabad. Wow, oh my God, I was least prepared. I don't know whether I should stand here because if I turn this side, I don't like to show my back to you. And if I turn that side, so I'll just walk. You know, it's nice. So there's so much of glam when I came here, so much of light. And I was sitting with light on my face all the time. And thank you, Keka, for inviting me. Thank you so much for all of you to be here today. I don't know what to speak, but all that I can tell you is I suffered a mental health issue. There's this young lady who spoke about mental health. I suffered a mental health issue immediately after Corona because I had got a heart attack and I had taken the shot and lost somebody who was very dear to me. I remember it was April 11th and April 12th was my birthday. So it was April 11th when I suddenly got a little extra pain and my dog, his name is Buddy, I'm a lover of animal. So I had Buddy Bhatia who was very, very close to me. Buddy actually was healthy till 4:30 p.m. in the evening. And that night, Buddy passed away at 5 a.m. in the morning. April 12th was my birthday. So he gave me life. My life belongs to Buddy actually because he gave me life. So mental health issue is something that I can tell you we all grapple with. All that we need to do is to just understand what we are going through. If we understand, we'll be able to handle a situation better. And I've had a lot of people who've gone through mental health issue, ladies and gentlemen, and I realize that if anybody wants a cure out of something called mental health, you have to find a solution yourself because nobody else can find that for you. I'm a big believer that if organizations can be interdependent and not dependent, create an interdependent organization where nobody depends on everybody and everybody relates to everybody. A relationship is better than no relationship at all. So create an interdependent organization. Your future depends only on today, what you do today. Your future largely depends on your ability to make an impact today. If you can make an impact today, then probably the future is yours. And if you fail to make an impact, you don't realize that you are in a rat race. You're just running and running and running and running. If you keep running, you might just be exhausted. At certain stage, take a meaningful pause to your life and ask yourself, what am I doing? Why am I doing so? I have an impossibility question which I've been working with for a very long time. And the question is like this. What today seems impossible to do, and if it were done, would fundamentally change the way in which I run my business or the way in which I manage my career? I'll repeat that question for you. What today seems impossible to do, and if it were done, would fundamentally change the way in which I run my business or the way in which I manage my career. The moment you get an answer to this question, perhaps you'll see the future far more easily. And they won't be insecure, because insecurity is only going to create more negativity inside you. Create a sense of security in what you're doing, in your thinking, and probably you'll realize that the next step is far more easier than what you have taken. Believe, believe, believe. Trust, trust, trust. Trust is an important factor, but a missing factor in an organization. So the more the trust you have, the greater is the depth of your belief. So I'll end with a story, and this is a beautiful story. There was once a very famous author. He was very fond of writing books. Every day in the morning, he would walk by the seaside and then produce the bestsellers. His name was Joel Barker. He produced what is called the business of paradigm. One day, as he was walking on the beach, from a distance he sees a human figure dancing. He wonders to himself, why is anybody dancing? The sun is up and is going to get warmer by the day. He gets closer to this human figure and he sees it's a young man. He looks at the young man and says, young man, why are you dancing? The young man says, can't you see? I'm picking up starfish and throwing it into the sea. But young man, there are miles and miles of starfish. You can't save all of them. To which this young man says, when I take this one and throw it in the sea, it makes a difference to this one. The response surprises the author. That night he cannot sleep. Next day, along with the young man, he gets up and throws starfish into the sea. So the moral of the story, if you throw your stars wisely and well, the future is yours. If you cannot throw your stars wisely and well, you're perhaps lost out. The choice is entirely yours.
All right,
you.
I just
Thank
lived
you
a
so
fanboy
much.
moment. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, so that brings me to an end as well, guys. Thank you for being so patient. Just like work things are always a little boring, so I'm sorry for the amount of boring things that I created. But fairly moving forward, I will call upon Dr. Nishat for taking the next phase of the event. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so yeah, that being said, I'm wrapping it up. Thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Thank you.